Hey, so I'm about to do a reading on Kevin Gates and Dreka. So, and I already feel like this is gonna be an interesting one. Um, I don't keep up with their relationship, and I don't listen to Kevin Gates music. Hold on, y'all. Hmm. Yeah, so I also don't listen to Kevin Gates music, but um this couple is always coming up on my radar because they a popular couple. A lot of people look up to them or fetishizes them. It's kind of like a Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jada Pinkett, Will Smith type shit, you know. And we starting to learn now that those type of relationships are usually toxic as fuck. Um, but as soon as I started tapping into this energy, the first vibe that I picked up on is like they a freaky ass couple. I mean, they some freaky motherfuckers. So, um, that was the first energy I came into. The second energy is that, Dreka, she's an interesting person. I feel like she's very attached, even codependent on Kevin. She's a Virgo. And what I notice about Virgos is that usually Virgos would deal with a lot in relationships before they actually leave. Matter of fact, um, the Virgo might not even leave the relationship. The other person will have to leave eventually. Cause Virgos will stay in some toxic shit for a long time. Mm. And they will deal with a lot. Like they kind of remind me of Libras, and especially if they are married or have kids with a person, they might be so attached to the image of it that they kind of ignore everything else. But nah, Drake, I feel like she's a intense person, like spiritual even. Um, she really do love him. That's the vibe. Like, I don't know, it might be low key obsession a little bit, but she just really stuck on him. is the is what I'm getting at. Now, I did see something about them being cousins, like blood cousins and stuff like that. I'm not gonna pull no cards on it, but um I thought that was interesting. They do give me a vibe like they wouldn't give a fuck about some shit like that. Um, so he's Kevin, he's a Aquarius and he's very Aquarius like to me. He's very open-minded. Um, but I do feel like he's very egotistical. you know, and he also liked to be in control. But see, it kind of balances out a little bit just because of the way that his mind worked, the openness of his mind. See, Kevin can be very convincing. You know, he could convince you to have like an open relationship. He could convince you to do threesomes. He could convince you to do something unconventional. Um, and it will feel almost spiritual, you know, dealing with him because of the way he got away with words. So, you know, you could be dating him and he just like, look, man, I don't think nobody should be tied down. Like, you know, we attracted to other people and everything, and we should be able to explore that. Whatever speech that he motherfucking give you, it's gonna be convincing. And it's not like it's wrong, you know, but you know, if you're a type of person and you really don't want a relationship like that, after some time you may feel played or manipulated or something like that. But if you come to him with that, he gonna be like, I ain't force you. I've been real with you since the beginning, you know, which will be true. You get what I'm saying? Like it will be true. But at the same time, he could be inconsiderate. He could be inconsiderate at times. You know, he could be solely concerned about like his own happiness and well-being and stuff like that. And still, I kind of understand it just because, you know what? I'm hot, y'all. Let me turn on my AC. Hold on. Like I'm saying, he feel like he needs to be free, you know. That's what he feel like. Like I need to be free to express myself, be who I want to be and stuff like that. And but I feel like in some ways he will allow you to express yourself as well. But I do feel like there's a double standard and he could fall back on that really quickly. Like, let's say they have an open relationship, which I'm getting the vibe. It will be open in the sense that, you know, he might bring a girl home and him and Dreka have sex with this girl. But, you know, it's also getting the vibe that, you know, he could go out, be out of town, and then go fuck some random chick. And I think that he may even be honest with Dreka about it. But if she was to go out of town and then she hook up with some random dude, I feel like it would be an issue. It would be an issue, okay? But I don't know, something giving me the vibe that maybe it's not an issue. For some reason, I'm thinking about the story with the personal trainer. Um, and he like saying that she cheated on him with the personal trainer. I'm kind of feeling like she could have had sex with a personal trainer, but I don't think it was cheating. I think she was open about it. But I feel like that situation was kind of like they was getting a divorce at the time, and I kind of felt like he maybe thought it would help him legally if he was to come out and say that it was a whole, he was being toxic at that time, and he was being toxic because he was hurt. Okay. So he was just being an asshole, really. Because I feel like they have certain agreements and understanding that he shouldn't have, like he ain't really had a right to throw that in her face, even if she did fuck that trainer. Because I'm just feeling like it's a situation that she didn't lie about it. Like it wasn't a secret. It was something that they do. And, now that he mad and shit, he throwing it in her face. That's the vibe. And I kind of feel like he was trying to make her undesirable to other suitors as well. Niggas, they would do shit like that. That's what a toxic hurt motherfucker. They will always do that shit. I'm telling you. Like you break up with them, y'all break up and everything, and this motherfucker would go run to their homeboys and tell their homeboys that you a hoe. It ain't true. But he want his homeboys to not be considering you. He want his homeboys to not look at you, So that's like a mechanism to protect their own motherfucking feelings and stuff like that. And then you have crazy motherfuckers that will go to the extreme and they would try to turn the whole world against you. But be that as it may. All right, let's start out with just getting into like what type of person they is. What type of person is Kevin. Too many cards. What type of person is Kevin? Oh Lord, Kevin got some issues, y'all. Kevin got some issues. Okay. He got issues coming from his childhood. I'm also hearing the industry, like he had things happen to him in the industry that kind of fuck with him, fuck with the way that he feel about himself. He could be very insecure sometimes as well. He could also have like a sex addiction. He can be very draining. Um, like he could just be an exhausting person to be around sometimes, just because you can't tell him anything. Like you can't, like he the type of person that you could tell him not to do some shit, but if you do, you have to really convince them. Like you have to have this long ass conversation. You will have to be very detailed. You have to really convince them why it's not a good idea to do some shit. And if you can't convince them, the only other solution is to let them get burnt. Let them touch the fire on their own and get burnt. Because it just, I felt like he built like this because of his own traumas, but he don't see it like that. He see it kind of like, you know, basically this is what a man is. And, you know, I also feel like there was a time that he felt like he didn't have no control of his life. And he kind of made a commitment to himself that he ain't gonna never let anybody control him again. But I do feel like he could be in contracts. He in something. He got commitment issues as well. Like commitment kind of triggers him. So if he's like in a record contract or something like that, and this record company, he's supposed to do 10 albums with them, and he already did 8. You know, he gonna start kind of like acting out because he agitated that he's stuck in this contract, and he might feel like it's fucking with his creativity. So he will like act out and kind of try to destroy the situation instead of just handling it properly. Like he can get toxic, and because what he want to do, he want to destroy the situation because he might want out of the commitment. So he would do shit like that, and I feel like he do that in a relationship as well. Like sometimes he would just get triggered with being in a commitment. Like I'm tied down, and he started thinking about it, feeling some way about it, and then he might go out there and have sex with another person, express himself in some type of toxic way to prove to himself that he's still free. Um, so it's draining actually to be dealing with that. Depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. So, vampire, shadow. It's draining because, you know, the energy would be like me, all about him. He could be very self centered sometimes, inconsiderate, you know, lacking empathy, putting himself in the other person's shoes and everything. So, and he might apologize and everything, but he continued to do this. And it's because he get triggered just by any form of commitment. It's not just a relationship. This could be contracts that he signed, anything that make him feel obligated. It really fucks with him. It really fucks with him, and he will act out because that's his way of kind of getting out of situations. Like he would just act out, make the other person feel like I don't want to do this shit no more, and then the situation get destroyed, and then he would low key feel good about it. But then maybe later on he will feel like, maybe I shouldn't handle it like that. Maybe I should have did it this way, because in the process he would create more issues, and then Dreka would kind of like come and clean it up. So yeah. Victim card came out, prevents you from letting yourself be victimized. Yeah, I was just talking about that. Like it came out in light attribute. But what I'm getting from this, um, because usually when I get this card and it's in light attribute, I'm thinking like a person who they don't allow themselves to be a victim. But see with him though, it's going back to that energy of him having issues with commitment. So, and in those seemingly innocent situations or whatever, he will make himself the victim. He will victimize himself, as in, but he won't see it like that. He would, like, let's say that he made a promise. It's a family reunion. And he made a promise that he gonna show up to the family reunion, and he already missed like 3 other family reunions and stuff like that. So everybody is kind of like upset because he already disappointed. So people are like, it would be important to us if you came this time. And they would have like a whole conversation and stuff. Cause I kind of feel like with him, there's a whole lot of group conversations, like, and they would kind of feel like, what you call it, prevention. when people get together to stop you from self-destructing, prevention, I don't know, intervention. So it would feel like that. Um, and he would like agree. He hear everybody point of view and whatnot, and he would be like, "Okay, yeah, I come," and everything. But then he would show up 3 hours late, got a fucking attitude, might have been drinking and shit like that. And if people question him, he gonna get an attitude, you know, even get into his ego and stuff. Like, why y'all trying to hold me down? Why y'all trying to get me to do shit that you know I don't want to do? Like, he started to feel like people trying to control him. And then it would be bad for everybody. So he showed up because, but he showed up with an attitude because he felt like people was making him feel obligated to some shit. Like he felt trapped in some type of way. In the child orphan card, what I'm getting for this card is that it could be issues in his family dynamic. Like I'm kind of feeling like he feel like it could be fake love. Like people don't really care about him and stuff. They only care about him because he got money and fame. But they have shown him when he was broke or something that they didn't really care or believe in him. So what I'm getting from this card is kind of like a sense of resentment. Like he has some resentment from his childhood. Um, it did come out in light attribute independence based on learning to go at it alone, conquering fear of surviving. So yeah. In a way, it made him very independent, but it also gave him trust issues. And he could go too far trying to be independent that he would destroy relationships around him. People that actually care about him kind of push them away because he will feel like he want to be alone or he feel like he need more freedom or some shit. And then he end up hurting himself. That's what happened. He a lot of times hurt himself because he's not recognizing the trigger when it happened. So when he get triggered, he reacts and the reaction will turn into a bigger issue. And then, at this point, the whole house is burning down. And now he finally come to the realization like, oh, fuck what I'm doing. I'm destroying everything. I'm destroying shit that I really want or need in my life. House already on fire at this point. And then here go Dreka ass putting out the flames, you know? Hmm. His detective card came out. Shadow attribute. Hmm. What I'm picking up from this card really, it's like false memories. Like he could remember things wrong, especially when he triggered. Like I'm telling you, like he has some pain that he need to deal with. He need to dig deeper into them and shit like that. Let me get some clarity on this one. Yeah, see the stubbornness card came out. He very stubborn. Lord have mercy. See, and he caused his own misery. And look, commitment card came out reverse. Yeah, so that's why it's so draining dealing with him at times because he would remember shit wrong to get himself out of like an argument or something. So it's like if you in a relationship with him and he on disappeared for 5 days. You haven't heard from him. He wasn't picking up the motherfucking phone and stuff. It might even been a situation that one time you call him and another bitch answer the phone. You get what I'm saying? And you can't get in contact with him, and then all of a sudden he show up, and you up here knowing that this motherfucker is dead wrong. You dead wrong. So you in an argument with him, but you know, you like you was gone 5 days, you haven't called me. This motherfucker would say some shit like, no, I was actually gone 3 days and I did call you one time and you didn't pick up the phone. Make you feel crazy. Make you feel like you going insane. And that shit will make people go into rage or something like that. And then he might just sit there and be grinning. So he have a bad habit of that shit. I feel like that might be people biggest pet peeve when it comes to him. Cause that's his way of deflecting. Cause he would do that shit on purpose, like recreate the situation so that he don't look so bad. Yeah, motherfucking Yeah, let's continue. Mystic card came out. Revels in intimate union with the divine. He is a very spiritual person. Like he is tapped in and everything. Something spiritual about sex with him too. Like I don't know. I feel like he could really turn somebody out. Like get you kind of stuck on him sexually. It's because he know how to tap into something. See, this what you gotta be careful with spiritual motherfuckers and you having sex with them because once they get into your energy and shit like that, they know how to make you feel them. So you feel tied to them in some type of way. And he know how to do that very well. Very well. Um he has intuition, like he could be psychic. He could have visions, dreams. He also cries, which is healthy. Um, he do have deeply spiritual moments, and I feel like this kind of helps save his relationship with Dreka because nobody will be able to reach him at times. Like you can't talk to him, you can't tell him shit, you can't make him understand shit. Like just stubborn. God damn, stubborn motherfucker. And then he would go off on his own and have like these deeply spiritual moments. And then will come back different. And when he come back different, it's genuine. you know, is genuine. So, and then at those moments, he could apologize and whatnot. And you forgive him because you feel that is genuine and shit like that. But it doesn't really stop him from going into that cycle again. Hmm. Athlete came out in shadow, misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. He might have put his hands on Dreka before. I don't see it as like an abusive situation or whatever. I'm seeing like a really bad fight that escalated, and he could have had slapped her or put his hands on her in some type of way. Um, but I don't feel like he's physically abusive. I wouldn't say that. Um, mm, I don't know. Get some clarity on this one. It's something about illusions, daydream and sweet dreams came out together, but came out reverse. Um, hmm, that's the vibe that I'm getting. It could be like drug use or something, but it really feeling like a psychedelic, like a DMT or some shit like that, or shrooms or something. That's what it's feeling like. It's feeling like a psychedelic. Um, but it might not be. It might be like just a drug that he used or something. But when he do, could be drinking as well. It's something, a habit that he has that make him go into extreme delusion. Um, and when he's in that state, he's really not himself. It could really be scary to people. Like I'm talking about like full mental breakdown. Full mental breakdown. Okay. Um, it's not good. It's not good because when he go into these states, he could become very dangerous, unstable. And Draka, she the type of person that she could be overly understanding. Like, he could have had hit her before and she might not have even told anybody because she felt like she understand it on a deeper level. Like she might say some shit like, oh, he having a very stressful week and everything. He's not being himself. the person that I know and care about, he would never do this to me. This is something else. It's something else in him at this time. Stuff like that. So, and it could be true, but still, if the person doesn't correct the behavior, um, it's not your responsibility to just deal with it. It's not your responsibility to stay committed to that, especially if it makes you unhappy and if it makes you feel afraid or uncomfortable at times. What I will say, because I haven't even got into her cards, that I do feel like she helps to balance him in a lot of ways. Because she do a lot of cleanup for him, you know. I will say that. Compulsive need to keep moving on. Yeah, he can be compulsive at times for sure. But what I'm getting a sense is that all of this is kind of tied into his creativity in some type of way. Because I feel like he's creative beyond just rapping and stuff like that. He has like a creative mindset. The way that he think is creative. Um, but it's kind of like disorganized, and she helps to organize him. That could create a issue because at times it's like she's his mother. Um, and I just got a feeling like Dreka, she feels obligated. She feels obligated in a relationship. Like, I have to look after him. I have to take care of him. Like, he don't really have nobody else that's really in his corner. I can't give up on him. Shit like that. It sounded more and more like some battered woman syndrome, ain't it? Starting to sound more like that. I do think that she feel very connected to him on a spiritual level, especially because he's so open-minded. Like, he's open to new ways of living and concepts and stuff like that. And he's like a lifelong student. Like, he always willing to learn something new. I do feel like he has a big heart as well. He's hurt. I'm so sick of saying that shit, yo. Like, men are hurt. Like, they fucked up. I feel like he like to learn new things. Like, he keep himself knowledgeable. Like, I also feel like he invests in his spirituality. Like, he will meet up with spiritual people. Like, I wanted to say Gandhi or something, but people that's like Gandhi or some shit. Um, I am seeing him meet up with somebody that is dressed like Gandhi in those robes, like a monk or something like that. Um, he's not a judgmental person. And he also don't have a desire to control other people. He just want to be fully control of himself and his environment, but he do believe in allowing people to truly express who they are. He do believe in that. You got the prostitute card. Accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Okay. He do have morals. He do have standards. He do have boundaries. And there are a lot of things that he will walk away from. He will say no to, regardless of the consequences. He will do that. Like if you was a record company and you wanted to sign him, he would be the type of person that would ask for full creativity or full something over his creativity, full control. Cause he think like an artist. So he feel like, look, if you stifle me, if you cage me, it will fuck with my creativity, and then you won't be able to make money off of me. So you might as well just let me be myself and don't play no games with me. And he might even say some shit like I'm not on that industry shit or whatever. Like, so yeah, he have standards. And I feel like Dreka, she supports that, you know. She the type, she would be sitting next to him while he giving his speech. And she would be on his side and everything. Like, yep, that's right. That's right. We not gonna do that. So she know how to stand in a unit with him, like stand next to him by his side, and it's genuine. It's not like she just agreeing because that's her husband. I feel like she have the same morals and standards that he do. So that's a good thing. All right, so let's get into Dreka. I have a shirt on that say the sun. I get a lot of compliments on it. Like this one dude, he told me that it was good luck. He was like, I like your shirt. It's good luck. And I was like, thanks. All right, Dreka. What type of person is Dreka? Damn. That wasn't a bad damn. Like, it's because it's a similar card. Anyways. They have similar traumas. They have similar childhood traumas. The child orphan card came out with her too, but also in light attribute. So, and I think this is the reason why she feel like, because I feel like she feel like they belong together. Okay. They kind of trauma bonding a little bit, but she feel like they belong together. Like they the only people that really understand each other, and it's something. She gets some type of high, um, from like this relationship. She get it's a deep passion. I understand it. I do. It kind of like a twin flame vibe, you know. She do feel deeply connected to him, and it makes her surrender. It makes her it pushes her to her limit in a way. Like take her out of her comfort zone and everything. Like sometimes the things that they do together, it could be things that she thought she would never do, but they do it together, and it's very enjoyable because she feel like they deeply connected. So when they do extreme shit together, it feels she gets some type of high from it. But it's a lot of things that they did together that she feel like she wouldn't do that with somebody else. Like she will only do that with him because she feel like he bring that out of her. Skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Shapeshifter, light attribute. Yeah, I think she's spiritual, deeply spiritual, actually. And, you know, she's intuitive, but it's in a different way. Like, he got intuition, like, he might be good at tarot reading or something like that. But with her, I feel like she's good at more organized spirituality, like yoga, I don't know. Like Buddhism or something like that. Hmm. She do have a higher level of understanding, and I kind of felt like it was kind of activated in her in this relationship. It might have been because it required a lot of patience out of her. It required a lot of understanding. Um, it kind of feels liberating to her. Like that's kind of like how she perceives it. I'm gonna get some clarity on these on Discord. Any clarity on that card? Did come out reversed though. I feel like it's coming out reversed because she have a tendency to kind of put herself last. She have a tendency of being too understanding. She have a tendency of not being able to hold him accountable or to set healthy boundaries with him and stuff like that. It's because um she do feel a deep connection with him. She do. But at times it's not healthy for her. Yeah, you see, internal love and vow both came out, but they came out reverse. She is deeply committed, you know? She's deeply committed, but it could be to her own detriment. She feel too obligated, and it's something from a childhood wound that she really feel like, I can't give up on him. I can't give up on this or whatever. The care card came out reversed though. It's I think it's because she a lot of times neglect herself, trying to be too understanding, trying to be too enlightened and stuff like that. And she could be too focused on his spiritual journey and not focus enough on her own. She could also be too busy and trying to like save him or be there for him. She is just really giving the vibe that she neglect herself a lot. And she it would be healthy if she was to stop that. Um not to your detriment, Like she have to learn how to put herself first more. She have to learn how to not try to fix everything, not try to jump in and save the day and shit. She have to learn how to do that. Cause she is coming out as the more organized one. Like she's not as creative minded as he is. So she's like the fixer upper. Like she like to fix things, get things in order and whatever. And she don't even realize when she get burnt out. She just keep going and going and going. So she could have some type of addiction. Compromises integrity and honesty allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. I feel like she addicted to him. Okay. That's what I feel like. Yeah, I'm starting to get visuals of her crying and stuff. He broke her heart a lot. A lot. And she kind of psych herself out in a lot of ways, make it like this deeply spiritual thing. Like she might even have like a whole theory around it. Be one of those motherfuckers that will give a whole speech about what love is. Love is kind, love is gentle, love is, being ride or die or some dumb shit. But hmm, she could be delusional at times. That's the vibe, that she could be delusional. Like, and people who know some things, because Virgos also have a tendency of keeping the really toxic parts of their relationship private. Like, they won't tell people about that really bad fight where she thought she was going to lose her life one time, or maybe that time he pulled out a gun on her, or shit like that. Like, she ain't going to tell people that. But then there would be other situations that she can't hide because it either happened in front of people, or somebody caught it on camera or something like that. So, and she just try to rationalize it, like make it make sense in her head, make it make sense in her spirit, by viewing it as this higher purpose, this, which I'm not saying, I'm not taking that away from her, but it's parts of this journey she missing out on because she not protecting herself like she should be. She not caring for herself like she should be. Um, I just kind of feel like she being too selfless when it comes to him. So yeah, what I was saying is that people who have seen some of the toxic parts of the relationship, they could look at Dreka like she is digmatized. Nah, she is. She is, cause I keep having visuals of the sets, you know. I feel like she really connected to the sets. Like, it really does something to her. So I'm gonna dig into that a little bit more. I gotta go get my other cards. Hold on. All right, so these are my 3 a.m. thoughts cards. You could get you um a pair, make play a card, description and description link. I don't know, child. Anyways, they will be on the Etsy shop soon. God damn, just a stuttering. Is it Mercury retrograde? Like, God, me. All right, let's go. It's something important about the set, so gotta dig into it. All right, what's so important about the sets? Mm. Okay, so I do feel like she has some insecurities, and I feel like the insecurities came from him and like his cheating and shit like that. Like I think that they might have like an open relationship, and she want to be open minded about it, but I feel like it still make her feel a certain type of way. But when they are intimate together, he makes her feel comfortable. He makes her feel beautiful. Um, it's kind of like when he has sex with her, it kind of silence the doubts and the insecurities within her. But it kind of puts her to sleep because the sex is kind of like a band-aid. It kind of make her forget everything else. Like it really do reset everything. Like they could get into a really bad argument and her feelings and her point of view was valid. And then they have sex and in the next morning they kind of like sweep it under the rug and don't really deal with it until it resurfaces. So here go to surrender. I love it when you surrender to me. The first card that came out though is I need more stimulation. So what I'm actually getting from this is head because I just kept getting visuals of him giving her head, and I think that he really good at it. um, and I feel like that's something that she enjoy because he stimulates a lot of senses in her, like mentally and physically. Um, he knows what he doing, basically. But it's something else. He brought out like a freaky side to her, with the tighter the rope, the better it feels. Yeah, he brought out a side of her that was kind of dormant before him. It was there, but before she met him, it was dormant. And he kind of like activated it inside of her and she kind of stuck. She's stuck on it now. So, yeah, I never felt this way before. It kind of scares me because it's a feeling that she ain't never feel before, you know? It's almost like a primal thing. Primal might not be the word because it's just a side of her. It was hella freaky, but she couldn't express that with nobody else. But she could express it with him, you know, because, he could be into a lot of different things. And he kind of just like, I'll let you be as freaky as you want to be, like he would too. And he willing to try things that a lot of men might not be willing to try, but he'll try it. He will try it, okay? And it helps her to open up other doorways inside of her. That's why it's kind of like a spiritual experience for her because like he allow her to express certain extremes. Blindfold and surprise me, yeah. With this card, I feel like they do a lot of exploring together. Damn. I mean, even if like she wanted to like have a threesome and it was two dudes in her, like he would be the type of motherfucker that would be down with it. Now, even if like, nah, I was gonna say like, even if he doesn't be intimate with the other dude, he real open. Like he real open. He real open. Okay. Some shit I ain't gonna say. I'm just gonna let people mind wonder, but he real open, okay? He open to trying different things because he likes intense sexual situations anyways. And I think that he have a very high sex drive. I think that he could also have a sex addiction. And to be honest, I kind of feel like it rubs off onto Dreka. That's why I feel like this addict card is out in the shadow. Because he could have had like sexual demons that make him crave it, thirst for it so much. And she picked up on it. She picked up on that energy. She could be like an introvert, seeks a latitude to focally. My goodness, my speech is like super fucked up right now. Seeks a latitude to fuck it. I said fuck it. Mm-mm-mm. Seeks a latitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. Let's get some clarity on that one. All right, clarity on that one. Hmm. Hmm. They have quite a bit of similarities. Sometimes she also crave freedom. Um, I feel like they do make up and break up quite a bit. They might even go on some type of breaks from each other. Like, um, they would get into an argument and have a separation for like a month or two and stuff like that. And she enjoyed those times. Because I had got hesitation and marriage together. Hesitation came out reverse. I do kind of feel like, when they got married, she had a bit of cold feet. And I think it's because at times the relationship is difficult. She do miss him eventually. Yeah. Okay. So I'm getting the fact that he could be draining at times. And sometimes I think he just draining just because he has a lot of energy. But it's also his mentality, his personality and shit like that. So it's other things too. But he can be draining. And sometimes she need to be away from him. And you know what, to be honest, I feel like that's healthy. Listen, since like before my marriage, before I even met him actually, um, I used to think about commitment, and at times it didn't seem appealing to me. Like I even would say stuff like, I would like to sleep in separate bedrooms sometimes. Like I would like to, if I was living with somebody, I would still like to have like my own bedroom. Sometimes I come in and I sleep with you, but sometimes I want to sleep alone, you know? I wouldn't even mind having one of those houses that it has like a bridge in the middle, but it's like two houses and it's a bridge in the middle. Cause sometimes I feel like I really just need my own space. Um, and my longest relationships was with people who allow me to have space to myself. So I feel like that's healthy. And I feel like that helps the relationship to stay inciting, especially if you're doing it in a mature way. You're not like starting arguments with somebody just because you want to be alone for a couple days or whatever. No, if you're in a relationship with somebody that you can have a conversation with and be like, look, sometimes I just need to be alone, and y'all trust each other. Y'all know it's not no extra shit. Like this person want to go out and cheat or something like that. Like that's real healthy. I feel like, well, that's what my introverted ass will need in a relationship. So like I would need time to myself. I would need my own space and everything. So, and I feel like they have that same dynamic because I like sleeping alone, and I like being alone at times. So sometimes she feel a need to like take a break from this relationship. All right, next card. Pretentious to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. See, that's pointing at that delusion that she be having at times. She have the type of delusion that she would make some shit spiritual, and that shit ain't spiritual at all. Okay? Fuck it, girl. You just being delusional. It ain't no spiritual shit. Sometimes she would dismiss things, and that's why she making it spiritual. So she don't have to deal with it or dig even deeper, you know? Like she might not feel good with some of the other people that he's sleeping with. Cause a part of me feel like she open-minded too. So it's not that she's really upset that they have an open relationship. She could be upset about the people that he choose to sleep with, or um the reason behind he's sleeping with other people, because he could be doing it because he hurt or he angry at the time. So she could be upset at the fact that he's doing it in an unhealthy way. And then she could start to feel like, you taking advantage of my kindness, you taking advantage of my spirituality, you taking advantage of my open-mindedness, because you're not using this with integrity. But sometimes for her to like keep the peace, she would dismiss it, and in her mind she would make it think that, oh, she got some type of higher understanding. So she could be like, you know what, he's a man and men gonna cheat or some dumb shit or whatever. Or she could be like, well, he's a spiritual being and I don't feel like it's right to tie any spiritual being then down or something like that. But it's dismissing, because that's not what you actually doing. You're not judging him. You're not asking for too much. You're not holding down a spiritual being. You asking him to be more responsible with his decisions. And I feel like at times he would gaslight her, but he ain't seeing it like that. And I don't really feel like it's deceptive. Like with a narc, they know that they bullshitting you. They just want you to be confused. But in their situation, I feel like they both be confused. So, mother and shadow, smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. Yeah, as soon as this card came up, it's an issue with motherhood when it comes to her. Almost like resenting being a mother. Now, listen, I'm not judging her, okay? Um, Maybe resenting is too much of a harsh word. I feel like motherhood sometimes hurt her. Maybe she questioned if she a good mother. Smothering or abandoning children. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did hear something about her having other kids. I might have the wrong person. I might have the wrong person. Cause now I'm getting a visual of Gucci Man. So maybe I'm thinking about them. I don't know. Let me get clarity on this. All right, clarity on the mother card. What's this about? Mm. Her being a mother is just really triggering to her in some type of way. Um, I feel like it's things about it that she just don't enjoy. Like she might just feel like she ain't meant to be a mother. She might feel like it's too many responsibility, or if she had it another way, she might have chose not to have kids or something like that. But it's just something about motherhood that is just very triggering to her. She might even felt like she did it for the wrong reasons. This came out, but it came out reverse. Like kind of like she got pressure into it, or she was trying to live up to societal standards and stuff like that. But I feel like mm, she might even feel like it kind of hindered her experience, kind of like take away from her own freedom. Her and oh, I forgot his motherfucking name. Kevin. Her and Kevin, they have a lot of similarities, as in thoughts about freedom, thoughts about are are just being like open minded to different things, a different way of living, not wanting to be traditional, but kind of falling in the trap of tradition. I want to get some more cards. Hmm. Okay, the twin flame card came out. I feel like she do believe that this is her twin flame, and I feel like they are. I do. I'm also hearing that sometimes she feel alone, like when it comes to parenting. Um, it's just sometimes she feel like it's just too much. Like it's a lot that she's repressing when it comes to like being a mother and how she truly feel about it. Like it might not be something that she communicate with people, or she too afraid to admit it to herself and everything. Maybe she even feels shame about some of the feelings that she have about motherhood. And I don't feel like she should. Um, but something about motherhood, it triggers her and it makes her feel stuck in a lot of ways. She could feel stuck to this situation. She might even feel like Kevin did this to her on purpose to trap her. Yeah. Sometimes she feel resentful when it comes to motherhood. All right. So I answer a lot of questions about their relationship, but let's dig a little deeper. All right. I want to go automatically to the deep shit, to the shit, the only shit I care about. Cause the reason I do these readings is because, it's something that we can learn out of it. Um, I'm not just doing it to be nosy. I'm doing it because collectively we can learn something from it. So I just want to go to the deep shit. So right now in their relationship, they going through a transformation. With the death card. They might even do some shit like renew their vows or something like that or whatever. But it is a bit rocky. That's because it's certain cycles they haven't broke. And it's hard to break because they are stubborn. Obstacles in the way, disappointment and setbacks, you will be exhausted from trying to accomplish something. It would be impossible to achieve what you want. It simply is not meant to be. I'm feeling with this card is that uh they doing something that's gonna lead to frustration. Like it could be something like business. Like they could be missing business and family. It's not gonna work out. Um, some things just should be separated, okay? Some things just should be. So they might even need to do their own thing because I think that she could be like his manager or something like that. And I don't think it's a good idea. They would do better if they kind of separate things and she got to stop babying Kevin. He got to kind of like learn how to fix things on his own, be accountable for his own actions and everything. They need to set some type of boundaries. I feel like they have the mindset because they soulmates, they love each other so much. They feel like they belong together and whatever. So they should be able to do everything together. They should be able to do this business together and also raise a family together. but it's just going to create frustration because they need boundaries. They need time apart. They need to invest in their own goals. They don't have to do everything together. Everything don't has to be combined. It's okay to have something just to yourself. And they need to establish that. I feel like that would make the relationship stronger. Like, let's say that they have their own businesses. Like, she had her own business, he have his own business. And they decide to not connect those businesses at all. Like, they don't even have a joint bank account on it. It's only one person name on that business, whoever it belonged to. That would be healthy for them. They have to separate some things. Keep some things just business and keep some things just family. Cause it's something that they doing or trying to do. They might have like started a new business together. It's gonna make them clash. Like the business might do good, but then their marriage is gonna fail, you know? So, you know, cause they have to break certain cycles. They have to stop being delusional about what love is and shit like that. And they need to wait a little while before they make certain decisions. Like they might break up, get back together, have a really good fuck, and then be like in this romantic illusion and be like, you know, yeah, let's start this business together and yada yada yada. No, they should make a rule or something that before we sign any contracts or make any purchases or invest any major money, let's wait 30 days before we make the decision to see if we still feel the same way after 30 days. They should do some shit like that because they can be impulsive together, okay? So they have to, like, them together creates one energy, okay? Almost like one separate entity. You have them separate, and then you have this one entity with them together. They have to better manage that entity that they become when they come together. Because I just feel like they highly influence each other. And sometimes it can lead to illusions, deception, pain, heartache, or whatever, because they not setting boundaries and they making decisions too quickly. And then later on they regret it. And then it turned into an even bigger issue. So yeah, if they doing some shit together, like starting a new business or whatever, it's gonna turn into, it's gonna fuck with their marriage. Um, Kevin ass is gonna get triggered, and he gonna start to feel like she trying to control and manipulate him. He gonna get into this energy right here, this page of pentacles reverse. He gonna get triggered because he gonna need space or something like that. Something ain't gonna feel right, and it ain't right. Um, just because they know that they are the type of people that need a space, so they get super romantic. They be like all in love. They be like, yes, this is the one. And then they start making plans. And then he get triggered because um he start to feel different by combining everything. He start to feel the pressure. So he gonna get in this energy right here. Who is shy and self-involved, this person may embrace new ideas and trends. He is somewhat materialistic, makes rash decisions. He is prone to making mistakes and argues over minor points. He is neither trustworthy nor respected. He will pass through your life without changing it. Okay. You could ignore the last sentence, but everything else, yeah. Okay, so what else? Oh, the moon card came out. They be delusional. They be delusional together sometimes. Your personal faith and ethics will be tested. See, they going through a test right now, and they about to fail that motherfucker, okay? Just because they not learning. They not breaking cycles. You are confused and easily distracted. Fear and anxiety hunt your thoughts, paranoia, secret enemies, deception. Yeah. And you know what? They have a lot of jealous people around them, like people that's close to them, family members, friends. Um, these people are jealous. So they do subtle attacks on their relationship. And they know that, and they think that they strong enough to like ignore it or brush it off or whatever, but no, it still gets to them. It still influences the relationship. Um so it's pretty deep too. Cuz it's people around them that want to fuck them, as in like if she have like a sister or something like that, this sister could have fantasies or thoughts about fucking Kevin, and the same with him. And it's all stemming from subconsciously being jealous. um so it's stemming from that, and it causes issues. Like if she have a sister and that's happening, um like the sister might not act on it, but it still influence her behavior when it come to have conversations about it. So she could catch herself being extra negative about their relationship. Like, yeah, I don't think you should be with him anymore. Like, instead of trying to find a solution, they just give advice to destroy it, you know? Hmm. See, a good beginning turns against you. Soon, because of something that they doing, a new project or something, they gonna be fighting again. And the thing is, when they fight, people opinions influence them more, influence the relationship more. They might end up breaking up again, but it's going to be because of cycles, they not breaking. Be decisive. Confusion will be your greatest enemy. You give in to the demands of others. So yeah, it's going to be a situation where their foundation is going to become weak because they not feeling good about certain actions or whatever. And that's when the demons come in and start whispering in their ears and further turn them against each other. You let others make decisions for you that are not in your best interest because you are afraid to challenge their authority. And you know, I feel like this is an issue that they have a lot, and they kind of put people in their relationship. It's because they in delusion and they're not really facing what it really is. It could just be simply they have a change of heart on the plans. Like they feeling like they don't want to do this business anymore together because they feel like it's a bad idea. But instead of coming to that realization and having a conversation about it, they start putting other people in their relationship, and now it's an argument, now it's an issue, now it's a fight, now it's a breakup. So what's going to happen is that they're going to break up, and then with the breakup, the plans that they made, like on this new business or whatever, it don't have to be a business, I'm just saying, is going to get destroyed. And that's what they wanted. But they might not have allowed themselves to fully realize that it's in their subconscious, and they just acting out in toxic ways just because they don't want to be real with themselves. Okay. So, but you know, like that's their process. So what they're going to do is they're going to fight. The plan's going to get destroyed, and then they're going to come back and have makeup sets and get back together again. And they're going to secretly be happy that the plans got destroyed. But all of that could have been avoided if only they had the self-awareness and had the conversation. See, a good beginning turns against you. Bad luck. Your dream is doomed. And they being childish about it. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here and everything. I hope you enjoy it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and stay blessed. Testing, testing.